Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our podcast. If this is your first time here, my name is Lily.
And I'm Mark. We're really happy you're here with us today. This podcast is designed to help you improve your English listening skills while enjoying a natural conversation.
Exactly. So just relax, listen carefully, and try to understand as much as you can. Today, we're going to talk about something that many people around the world are interested in.
Yes, today's topic is why learning English can change your life. This is something that both of us believe strongly.
That's true. English has become one of the most important languages in the world. People learn it for school, work, travel, and even entertainment.
I agree. If you think about it, English connects millions of people from different cultures and countries.
Let's start with a simple question, Mark. Why do you think so many people want to learn English?
Well, there are many reasons. First, English is used internationally. If you travel to another country, chances are that someone will understand English.
Yes, even if it's not their first language.
Exactly. For example, imagine someone from Morocco traveling to Japan or Germany. Even though the local languages are different, English can help people communicate.
That's a great point. English becomes like a bridge between cultures.
Another reason is education. Many of the world's best universities teach courses in English.
Yes, and many scientific articles, books, and research papers are written in English too.
That means if you understand English, you have access to a huge amount of knowledge.
I think that's very powerful. Imagine being able to read books, watch lectures, or follow online courses from anywhere in the world.
And the internet also plays a big role.
Definitely. A large part of the content online is in English.
Exactly. Videos, podcasts, articles, tutorials, so much information is available if you know English.
Another interesting reason people learn English is for entertainment.
Oh, yes. Movies, TV shows, music, and YouTube videos.
Sometimes when you watch something in its original language, you understand the real emotions and meaning better.
I totally agree. Subtitles help, but understanding the language directly is much more enjoyable.
Now, Mark, let's talk about something many learners worry about.
You mean the fear of making mistakes?
Exactly.
That's very common. Many people feel nervous when they speak English.
Yes, they worry about grammar, pronunciation, or vocabulary.
But the truth is, making mistakes is a natural part of learning.
Absolutely. Even native speakers make mistakes sometimes.
The important thing is communication. If people understand you, that's already a success.
I love that idea. Communication first, perfection later.
Another helpful tip is to practice a little every day.
Yes, consistency is key.
Listening to podcasts like this one can really help.
Exactly. Because when you listen regularly, your brain becomes more familiar with the language.
You start recognizing words faster.
And your pronunciation improves naturally.
Another good habit is watching videos in English.
Yes, especially videos that you enjoy.
Because when learning is fun, it becomes easier to stay motivated.
Let's imagine someone who is just starting to learn English. What advice would you give them?
First, don't rush. Learning a language takes time.
That's very important.
Second, practice listening as much as possible.
Listening is often the first step to understanding a language.
And third, don't be afraid to speak.
Even if your sentences are simple.
Simple sentences are perfectly fine.
In fact, they are the foundation of communication.
Another idea is to learn useful phrases instead of only memorizing grammar rules.
Yes, real-life expressions can help you speak more naturally.
For example, phrases like, "How's it going?" or "That sounds great."
Exactly. Those expressions are used in everyday conversations.
Over time, your vocabulary will grow.
And you'll feel more confident speaking.
Confidence is very important in language learning.
Because when you believe in yourself, you're more willing to practice.
What's that?
Learning English is not just about grammar and vocabulary.
It's also about connecting with people,
Meeting new friends,
discovering new cultures.
and opening doors to new opportunities.
So if you're learning English right now, keep going.
Your effort will pay off.
And remember, every small step counts. Lily, before we end today's conversation, I'd like to ask you something. Do you remember the moment when you realized how powerful learning another language can be?
That's a very interesting question. Yes, I do remember. I was traveling to another country for the first time. I didn't know the local language, but I could communicate in English with people from many different countries. At that moment, I realized that English was not just a subject in school. It was a real tool for communication.
That must have been an amazing experience.
It really was. I met people from different cultures, and even though we all had different backgrounds, we could share stories and ideas because we all spoke English.
I had a similar experience when I met travelers from different parts of the world. Some were from Europe, some from Asia, and others from Africa. Even though none of us had the same native language, we were able to communicate easily using English.
It's fascinating how one language can bring people together.
Yes, and that's one of the biggest advantages of learning English. It gives you the ability to communicate globally.
Another interesting thing is that learning a language also changes the way you think.
That's true. When you learn new words and expressions, you start to understand different perspectives.
Exactly. Language and culture are deeply connected.
For example, when you learn English, you are also exposed to cultures from many English-speaking countries.
Like the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and many others.
And each of these cultures has its own traditions, accents, and ways of expressing ideas.
This makes the learning process even more interesting.
Sometimes people ask me, how long does it take to learn English?
Yes, that's a very common question.
And my answer is always the same. It depends on practice and dedication.
Exactly. Language learning is like exercising a muscle.
The more you practice, the stronger your skills become.
And even small daily habits can make a big difference.
For example, listening to English for 10 or 15 minutes every day.
Or reading short articles, stories, or even social media posts in English.
Another great idea is keeping a small notebook of new words.
Yes, writing words down helps you remember them better.
And you can also try using those words in sentences.
That's a great strategy. It helps you move from passive learning to active learning.
Let's talk about motivation for a moment.
Good idea. Motivation is extremely important when learning any language.
Sometimes learners start with a lot of enthusiasm, but after a while they feel tired or discouraged.
That happens to everyone.
Yes, but the important thing is not to give up.
Exactly. Even if progress feels slow, you are still improving.
And sometimes you don't notice your improvement until you look back.
For example, when you realize that you can understand a conversation that used to be difficult.
Or when you watch a video and understand most of it without subtitles.
Those moments are very rewarding.
They show that your hard work is paying off.
Another helpful tip is to surround yourself with English.
Yes, create an English environment around you.
You can change the language on your phone to English.
You can follow English-speaking creators online.
Or listen to English music while reading the lyrics.
These small activities help your brain become familiar with the language.
Over time, English will start to feel more natural.
Lily, do you think age matters when learning a language?
That's a good question. Many people believe that only children can learn languages easily.
But that's not entirely true.
Exactly. Adults can learn languages very successfully too.
In fact, adults often have strong motivation and clear goals.
Yes, and that motivation can be very powerful.
The key is patience and regular practice.
Language learning is a journey, not a race.
That's a beautiful way to say it.
And every learner has their own pace.
Before we finish today's episode, let's give our listeners a small challenge.
I like that idea.
If you're listening right now, try to listen to this episode again tomorrow.
The second time, you may notice words or expressions that you didn't catch the first time.
Repetition is a powerful learning technique.
And you can also try repeating some sentences out loud.
This helps improve your pronunciation.
And it makes you more confident when speaking.
Learning English can truly open many doors in life.
Yes, doors to education, travel, friendships, and opportunities.
So keep practicing, keep listening, and keep believing in yourself.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us.
We hope this conversation helped you practice your English listening.
And remember, every day of practice brings you closer to your goal.
See you in the next episode.
Take care, everyone.